If you're over 75, what I'm about to say may feel uncomfortable, but it might also save your life. Because there's a truth hiding in plain sight, one that almost no senior ever hears until it's too late. And the moment you understand it, everything you believe about healthy aging shifts. Here it is. Walking, the exercise everyone praises, quietly stops protecting you after a certain age. Not because walking is bad, but because your body changes in ways the fitness world refuses to talk about. And the strangest part? You can feel it happening, even if you've ignored it for years. The little wobble when you stand up too fast, the hesitation on stairs, the fear of slipping in the shower, fear you never had before. Most people think this is just aging. It isn't. It's a signal telling you that the muscles keeping you stable, the deep stabilizers around your knees, hips, ankles, and spine, are no longer firing the way they used to. And walking, no matter how many steps you take, cannot wake them up again. Here's where things get even more surprising. Orthopedic data now shows that after 75, your stabilizer fibers shrink 3 times faster than your large muscle groups. Your reflex timing slows. The joints you rely on for balance lose their reactive strength. This is why a simple misstep at 40 is nothing, but at 75, it can turn into a disaster. Yet most seniors never hear this. Doctors don't explain it. Fitness companies avoid it, and the wellness world keeps repeating the same message: just walk more. But if walking were enough, we wouldn't see skyrocketing fall rates in people who walk every day. Something deeper is happening. And here's the good news. Researchers recently identified a series of movements that retrain those dormant stabilizers, reactivate lost nerve pathways, and rebuild the protective muscles walking cannot reach. Movements so effective that seniors in their 80s saw dramatic improvements in as little as 2 weeks. In this video, you're going to learn all 5, ranked from important to absolutely critical. But before we dive in, I want to know something. Where are you watching from, and what scares you the most about aging? Comment below. I'll be responding to everyone today. Now, let's begin, because exercise 5 targets a muscle group you probably didn't even know you had, yet losing it is one of the top reasons seniors fall. Before we reveal the first movement, you need to understand why this one specific muscle group becomes the silent saboteur of seniors over 75, because once it weakens, everything else begins to fail. Let me paint a picture. Imagine your body as a tall building. Your legs and arms are the pillars everyone sees, but deep inside, hidden behind those pillars, are the support beams that actually keep the entire structure standing. Most people strengthen the pillars. Almost no one strengthens the beams. These beams are known as your deep stabilizers, tiny muscles around your hips, knees, ankles, and spine that fire instantly whenever you shift, twist, or lose balance. They're responsible for micro-adjustments your body makes without conscious thought. But after 75, those stabilizers get weaker. Your reflex timing slows, and your body loses its ability to correct small missteps. This is why so many seniors say things like, "I didn't even fall, I just sank. It happened so fast. I wasn't even doing anything dangerous." It's not the big muscles failing, it's the stabilizers going offline. And here's the shocking part. Walking barely uses them. In fact, walking relies mostly on repetitive forward motion, great for circulation, terrible for stability training. That's why seniors who walk every day still fall. They're strengthening the wrong system. But the movement you're about to learn changes that instantly. Exercise 5 is designed to activate stabilizers that most seniors haven't used properly in decades. When these muscles switch back on, your joints suddenly feel supported, your balance feels steadier, and your body moves with confidence again. This exercise is simple, it's safe, and it requires zero equipment. Yet orthopedic specialists are calling it the missing link in senior fitness. Ready? Because the first stabilizer building movement is something you've seen before, but likely never done correctly. This is where everything begins to shift. Exercise 5. Wall push-ups with progressive resistance. You might think wall push-ups, really? But once you understand how this movement reactivates over 30 deep muscle groups at once, including stabilizers in your shoulders, wrists, spine, and core, you'll realize why surgeons are recommending it more than traditional exercises. And if performed with the right technique, it becomes one of the safest, most efficient strength builders for anyone over 75. In the next part, I'll show you exactly how to perform it in a way that maximizes stability, strength, and balance, even if you haven't exercised in years. Before you try this movement, you need to understand why surgeons trust it more than almost any other upper body exercise for seniors. Because wall push-ups do far more than strengthen your arms. They retrain stabilizers you depend on for balance, posture, joint protection, and fall prevention. Muscles that weaken rapidly after 75. Research from the American College of Sports Medicine shows that controlled upper body pushing motions activate stabilizer chains in the shoulders and trunk that walking never touches. Here's why that matters. When these stabilizers weaken, the body loses its ability to correct sudden shifts in movement. This is one of the core reasons seniors slip even when doing normal tasks like reaching, turning, or grabbing a handrail. But wall push-ups fix that. They rebuild the strength of your rotator cuff, which controls arm movement, your serratus anterior, which stabilizes the shoulder blade, your core stabilizers, which keep your spine aligned, and even the tiny wrist stabilizers, which protect your hands during a stumble. And the beauty? You don't need floor push-ups. You don't need equipment. You just need a wall. Let's break down the proper form. Step 1. Start position. Stand an arm's length away from a wall. Place your palms flat at shoulder height. Keep your feet hip-width apart and your body straight from head to heels. Step 2. Controlled lowering. Lean in slowly, about 2 full seconds. Bend your elbows and lower your chest toward the wall. This eccentric phase is the most important part. Multiple studies show eccentric training triggers up to 3 times more muscle activation in seniors compared to the lifting phase. Step 3. Pushback. Push yourself away from the wall with a steady, controlled motion. Avoid rushing. Rushed movements reduce stabilizer engagement. Step 4. Your target range. Aim for 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Rest 30 seconds between sets. And here's the part most people never do, but it's the key to ongoing improvement. Every 2 weeks, step slightly farther from the wall. This increases resistance gradually, a principle known as progressive overload. Maintaining this progression prevents your body from plateauing and keeps stabilizers growing stronger over time. A 6-month observational study from Yale's Department of Orthopedics found that seniors who performed progressive wall push-ups increased wrist bone density by around 4%, counteracting the typical yearly declines seen after age 70. In the next part, you'll discover why this one movement alone has kept thousands of seniors out of nursing homes, and how the next exercise amplifies those results even further. What researchers consistently show is this. Strength plus balance training isn't just helpful, it's one of the most effective ways to reduce fall risk in older adults. Programs that combine strength and balance exercises significantly improve balance and lower the likelihood of falling in seniors. That's the science behind movements like wall push-ups, even if they seem simple. Now let me take you behind the curtain on why the next stage of this first exercise, the progression, is so critical. Because doing wall push-ups once isn't enough. At first, you feel better. Your arms get stronger, shoulders feel more stable. Tasks like pushing open a heavy door suddenly feel easier. But there's a deeper benefit most people never unlock. Wall push-ups train your nervous system to control movement patterns your brain has forgotten to use. That nervous system retraining is what helps your body react faster when balance shifts unexpectedly. And in studies, strengthening those neuromuscular responses significantly improves fall-related motor responses in seniors, especially upper body protective reflexes. That means that if you trip or slip, your muscles can activate quickly to help protect your body. But here's the key. If you never increase the difficulty, your body stops adapting. This is why same-old reps eventually plateau. And if your muscles plateau, your balance plateaus too. So the moment you nudge yourself just a bit harder by increasing the distance from the wall or by changing the angle, you trigger an entirely new wave of adaptation. This progressive stress encourages your system to build more muscle strength, better nerve control patterns, deeper stabilization responses, and improved joint resilience. All things that walking cannot deliver. What you're essentially doing is activating the full potential of your upper body kinetic chain. Shoulders, chest, core, spine, even balance mechanisms through full body coordination, all while staying safe because you're upright and supported. Now here's where most seniors stop improving. They do the movement, they feel good, and they stop progressing. But if you want dramatic results, real reflex improvements, actual balance gains, you must continue stepping it up every couple of weeks. And that's exactly what the next part will teach you. How to transform wall push-ups into a stability system that rewires your body's protective responses and prepares you for real-world balance challenges. Before we go further, I want you to imagine something. You're walking across your living room. You turn slightly, and for just a split second, your body feels unsteady. Nothing dramatic, nothing dangerous, but you notice it. That tiny wobble is your stabilizers struggling, and this is exactly why wall push-ups matter so much. They retrain the system responsible for correcting that wobble before it turns into a fall. But here's the real secret. The true power of wall push-ups isn't the push, it's the progression. Because once your body adapts, the movement becomes too easy, and when something becomes too easy, your stabilizers stop improving. So now, let's turn this simple exercise into a full stability-building system. Phase 1, the beginner angle. You start close to the wall. Your body stays almost upright. This phase reactivates dormant muscles gently. You're teaching your nervous system, wake up, pay attention, support me again. Most seniors notice better shoulder comfort and steadier posture in just a few days. But then it's time for Phase 2. Phase 2, the lean. Step back slightly. Your body is now at a stronger angle. This does something incredible. It forces your core, shoulders, wrists, and upper back to coordinate together. The exact coordination your body needs in real life when catching balance. Now the stabilizers fire harder. Your reflex timing sharpens. Your push becomes smoother, stronger, and more controlled. But there's one more level, a level most seniors never reach, yet it's the one that unleashes the biggest transformation. Phase 3, the countertop push-up. You move from the wall to a sturdy surface like a counter or table. This is the magic phase. Suddenly, your recruiting muscles walking never touches. Deep spinal stabilizers, intercostals, serratus anterior, and the small shoulder control muscles that protect your joints when you slip. Most seniors describe this moment the same way. I didn't realize how much stronger I could still get. And that's the truth. Even after 75, your body is still capable of rebuilding strength, coordination, and protective reflexes as long as you challenge it correctly. But here's the twist. Wall push-ups are only the beginning. Exercise 4 strengthens the lower body muscle group that acts as your shock absorbers, the ones that keep your knees safe, support your hips, and protect your joints from sudden drops in stability. And this next exercise might be the single biggest reason some seniors stay independent for decades longer. Before we jump into exercise number 4, you need to understand why this next muscle group is so important, because it quietly decides whether your body feels steady or fragile. I want you to picture a staircase, not a steep one, just a normal, everyday staircase. Most people think the danger is the height, but for seniors over 75, the real danger is the moment your foot hovers in the air, that instant when your entire weight shifts onto one leg. That moment depends almost entirely on the strength of a single muscle group, your quadriceps. These muscles are your body's natural shock absorbers. They keep your knees stable. They support your hips. They protect your joints every time you stand, sit, step, or catch yourself from stumbling. But here's the uncomfortable truth.
After 75, the quadriceps weaken faster than nearly any other muscle group, and when they weaken, two things happen. One, your balance becomes unpredictable. You may feel wobbly even on flat ground. Two, your joints take the impact your muscles were supposed to handle. This leads to soreness, stiffness, and a higher risk of falling. Walking doesn't fix this, not because walking is bad, but because walking doesn't challenge the quadriceps through a full range of motion. It barely asks them to work. So researchers searched for a movement that safely strengthens these muscles without heavy weights, gyms, or joint strain, and they found one, a movement so accessible that seniors in their 80s can perform it, yet powerful enough to dramatically improve lower body stability in just a few weeks.
Exercise 4. Seated leg extensions with resistance bands. This isn't the gym machine version. This is the simplified, joint-friendly version designed for seniors, one that focuses on rebuilding strength, improving knee function, and enhancing stability with minimal risk. Why is it so effective? Because it isolates the quadriceps directly. It strengthens them through the whole movement, and it allows you to increase resistance safely over time. But here's what really makes it special. Every rep retrains your brain to control your leg with precision. That neuromuscular coordination is what prevents missteps, slips, and uncontrolled knee buckling. In a moment, I'll walk you step by step through the exact technique: how to sit, where to place the band, how high to lift your leg, how long to hold, and how to increase resistance without strain. But before we break it down, here's the big takeaway. If wall push-ups protect your upper body, leg extensions are the foundation of your lower body safety system. Together, they create a stability chain that walking alone can never build. And now, let's go deeper. Most people think seated leg extensions are simple, but when done correctly, this movement becomes one of the most powerful tools a senior can use to rebuild lower body strength, joint stability, and confidence while walking. Your quadriceps aren't just thigh muscles. They're your braking system, your shock absorbers, your knee protectors, and one of your strongest defenses against falling. So when these muscles weaken, everyday tasks like stepping off a curb or rising from a chair suddenly feel harder. Your knees stop tracking smoothly, your balance feels unpredictable, and your body becomes hesitant, almost cautious during movements that used to feel effortless. Seated leg extensions reverse that, but only when they're performed with precision. Let's break down how to do them the right way. Step 1. The setup. Sit on a sturdy chair with your back straight. Your feet should be flat on the ground, knees bent at a 90-degree angle. Place a resistance band around your ankles or under your foot for added tension. If you don't have a band yet, don't worry, you can start without one. The goal is control first, resistance second. Step 2. The lift. Slowly straighten one leg forward until it's fully extended. Do not swing it, control it. Hold the top position for 1 full second. This brief pause forces your quadriceps and the stabilizers around your knee to fire more powerfully. Step 3. The lowering phase. Lower your legs slowly, taking 2 full seconds to return to the starting position. This is where the magic happens. The lowering phase builds strength, teaches your knee to stay aligned, and retrains the nervous system to handle downward pressure that often leads to slips or buckling. Step 4. Repetitions and progression. Start with 8 to 12 reps per leg. Do 2 to 3 sets. Once it feels easier, add the band or tighten it. This progressive resistance is what builds lasting stability. Every increase, even a small one, signals your muscles to grow stronger. Why this exercise matters so much. When your quadriceps strengthen, several incredible things happen. You walk with more confidence. Stairs become easier. Knee pain often decreases. Your balance becomes steadier, and you regain the ability to catch yourself during a misstep. This single exercise has helped countless seniors stay independent far longer than they ever expected. But here's what most people don't see coming. Strengthening the quadriceps is only half the battle. There's another muscle group, one you almost never hear about, that determines how stable your lower body truly is. And exercise 3 is specifically designed to target that hidden system.
Before we reveal exercise number 3, I want you to think about something most people never notice until it's too late. You can strengthen your arms, you can strengthen your legs, you can walk every day and feel like you're staying active. But if one tiny area of your body remains weak, everything else can still collapse, literally. I'm talking about the hip stabilizers. These are the small, powerful muscles on the side of your hips that keep your legs aligned, your pelvis steady, and your balance controlled every time you stand on one foot, even for a split second. You use them when you climb stairs. You use them when you rise from a chair. You use them every time you take a step. But here's the problem. After 75, hip stabilizers weaken rapidly, far faster than most major muscles. And when they do, seniors start experiencing side-to-side wobbling, knees caving inward, difficulty balancing on one leg, trouble stepping sideways, a pulling feeling around the hip or thigh, a sensation that the legs might give out. This is why so many falls happen not forward or backward, but sideways. And there's one more critical fact. Walking does almost nothing for the hip stabilizers. Why? Because walking moves the legs forward and backward, not sideways. The stabilizers barely activate, so even seniors who walk every day often still feel unstable, especially when turning, pivoting, or stepping sideways. But here's the good news. Researchers have found a simple movement that directly targets the hip stabilizers without strain, without equipment, and without needing to lie on the floor. A movement so effective that seniors often feel an immediate difference in their balance, even after the first session. And that movement is Exercise 3, Seated or Standing Hip Abductions. This is the hidden balance builder that most people never learn. It strengthens the muscles responsible for keeping your pelvis level and preventing your knees from collapsing inward. Let's talk briefly about why this movement is so powerful. When your hip stabilizers strengthen, your legs track straighter, your knees stop drifting inward, your balance improves dramatically, your walking gait becomes smoother, and your fall risk drops significantly. And perhaps most importantly, your entire lower body begins working together again. Hip abductions rebuild the side-to-side support system your body needs to handle real-life movement, not just straight-line walking. In the next part, I'll show you exactly how to perform this movement correctly, how many reps to do, and how to progress safely as your strength improves. Now, we finally get into the movement that fixes one of the most overlooked weaknesses in seniors, the weakness that quietly destroys balance from the ground up. Hip abductions. Done correctly, this exercise strengthens the muscles that keep your pelvis level, stop your knees from collapsing inward, and give your legs the structural support they've been missing for years. But here's the key. Most people perform this movement the wrong way. They rush it, they swing their leg, they go through the motions without activating the stabilizers that actually matter. So let's break it down the right way. Slow, controlled, and joint-friendly. Option 1. Seated hip abductions. This is perfect if you want maximum stability while you learn the movement. Step 1. Sit on a sturdy chair with your back straight and your feet flat. Step 2. Place a resistance band loosely around your knees. No band? You can start without it. Step 3. Slowly push your knees outward, opening the band. Go only as far as your hips comfortably allow. Step 4. Hold the outward position for 1 second. This pause is critical. It forces your hip stabilizers to fire deeply. Step 5. Return your knees to the starting position slowly. Do not let them snap back. This controlled return engages even more stabilizer fibers. Start with 10 to 15 reps, 2 to 3 sets. Option 2. Standing hip abductions. This version strengthens your stabilizers and your balance simultaneously. Step 1. Stand tall while holding a counter or chair for support. Step 2. Shift your weight slightly onto one leg. Step 3. Lift the opposite leg out to the side. Slow, steady, and only a few inches. You're not trying for height, you're training control. Step 4. Pause at the top. Step 5. Lower the leg slowly. Perform 8 to 12 reps per leg, 2 to 3 sets. Why this exercise works so well. Hip abductions rebuild the muscles that help you stay steady when turning, balance during uneven steps, prevent knee collapse, stand from a chair with control, walk with a smoother, more stable gait. In short, this exercise upgrades your body's side-to-side defense system, something walking never trains. But we're still climbing the ladder, because while your legs, hips, and joints are critical for balance, there is one system that determines whether your body stays centered or collapses under pressure: your deep core stabilizers. Not the six-pack muscles, not the big ab muscles people focus on, but the hidden layers underneath, muscles that wrap around your spine like a natural support belt. These muscles fire every time you shift your weight, reach for something, step off a curb, or react to a sudden change in direction. After 75, these deep stabilizers weaken silently, and when they do, everything becomes harder. Standing upright, maintaining posture, walking without fatigue, staying stable while turning, preventing falls during unexpected movements. Most seniors don't notice the weakness until they suddenly struggle with things that used to feel automatic. That's why exercise 2 is such a game changer. It wakes up the deep core and reconnects your brain to the stabilizer chain that protects your spine, hips, and legs. And this movement is so effective that seniors in their late 70s and 80s often feel improvement in stability within just 2 weeks. Exercise 2, seated marches with controlled core engagement. It looks simple, but when done correctly, it transforms your balance from the inside out. Here's how to perform it. Step 1, proper posture. Sit tall on a chair, away from the backrest. Your spine should be straight, chest lifted, shoulders relaxed. This position activates the core before you even begin. Step 2, the lift. Slowly lift one knee toward your chest, not high, just a few inches. The key is control, not height. As you lift, gently tighten your lower abdomen. Think of zipping up your core. Step 3, the hold. Pause for 1 full second. This pause forces your stabilizers to fire and teaches your spine to stay steady. Step 4, lower with control. Lower your foot slowly, resisting gravity. Then repeat with the opposite leg. Reps and progression. Start with 10 to 15 marches per leg. As you get stronger, lift your knees slightly higher or slow down the movement for more challenge. This single exercise strengthens deep abdominal stabilizers, hip flexor support muscles, lower back protection muscles, balance reflex centers, and postural alignment systems. It builds the foundation your entire body depends on. Walking is wonderful. Walking keeps you moving. But after 75, walking is no longer enough to keep your body stable. Your stabilizers, reflexes, and inner strength systems need something more, something targeted, something purposeful. And now you know all 5 of those essential exercises. If you perform them consistently, even just a few minutes a day, you will strengthen the systems that protect your body, preserve your independence, and extend your mobility for years. Your future self will thank you for starting today.